Now again, I may change a million things in this character before I really feel happy, settled with it. I mean, I might, before I finally get to a point where I feel that, you know, Sydney here, or whatever his name is, Sydney the Dragon, or, you know, or Danny the Dragon, or whatever it is, before he's really the character I want. So I'm going to sit there and play with the proportions. I'm going to play with different angles. I'm going to even want to see, like, well, what would happen if Sydney here was on the ground? What if he's like crawling along, more like a traditional dragon, you know? His butt would obviously be bigger because he's bigger. His chest would be down here. His head would be like this. We know already some of the symbols, but notice how I'm already starting to use the symbols that I already know work to be able to sit there and say, okay, his shoulders are over here. Maybe he's got, you know, he's got one arm down here, and he's got maybe another. He's got his big, you know, foot over here like this. He's got the tail like this. All of a sudden you start to realize, maybe here, let me pull this other one back here so it's like that. All of a sudden now he even starts to look more like a dragon you might have seen in a, let me put another one up here just so that I have, maybe he's doing that. And this is just what I would call a silhouette, sort of a silhouette drawing. There's his chin point here. Maybe he's angry. Maybe he's going after some food. And again, I'm just working with just, and the only reason I can do this silhouette like this is because I've already done my homework here, here, and here. I've already been able to figure out that, ooh, maybe that's what he's going to look like when he's crawling along the ground, or he's slinking around the rocks looking for something that he wants to eat or attack, or maybe he's defending himself against some, you know, great knight of shining armor or something like that. But even more important, look how I'm using symbols that are absolutely the lowest detail that I need to be able to communicate that idea. That's really what I want to encourage. I want to encourage you to find those symbols that you can use, that you can repeat and use in other characters, and that are symbols of toes and feet and ears and noses and things like that. Things that we're going to get into, obviously, as we get into more of these lectures, where we actually get into how you can build your repertoire of symbols for arms and all these things. And basically you acquire this information and you just use it, and you mix it, and you make this wonderful recipes of characters that are able to take your imagination to places you've never been before. And that's when it's fun. So hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you for taking the time to view this second installment of our Drawing with Jeffrey series. We hope you enjoyed the presentation. Before we go, we'd like to reinforce a few of the most important drawing tips you should have taken from this program. Even creatures of fantasy should have their structural foundation rooted in reality. Be sure to create model sheets of your character and include a front and side perspective. Model sheets help you understand the full shape and form of your character, so it's easier to translate him or her into different poses. 3/4 angle is the preferred view since it allows you to utilize more perspective in your drawing. Perspective is key since it allows you to create a sense of depth. Straight-on shots are extremely difficult to pull off because of symmetry. Use dynamic shapes to help create a sense of movement within your drawings. Vary the size and shape of your textures to create more interesting effects. Patterns can be used within your textures to help define larger shapes. The use of overlapping lines is a great way to create folds in flesh or fabric. Blocking in the hands will simplify their creation. Try to find symbols in your drawings that you can use to represent an object at its simplest level of detail. Try to find and develop symbols for all major body parts. Once you've built up a library of symbols, you can use them over and over again in different drawings. Be true to your imagination and try to project your feelings into your drawings. Don't get discouraged. Great artists have to go through 1,000 bad drawings before they create ones they're happy with.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Drawing with Jeffrey. I hope that you've learned something new. But remember, when it comes to aliens or dragons, there's no real rules. Let your creativity flow and see where it takes you. Be sure to join us again on our next DVD. Till then, keep your pencil sharp and your mind even sharper.